Hello class, and welcome to our YouTube recorded lecture summarizing our topic of leadership, leadership styles, and effective leadership qualities for sport leadership. So when you think of leadership, I hope you think of someone perhaps in your life who helped you out, who was a great role model, who provided direction for you, someone who believed in you, perhaps a parent, a coach, a high school teacher, a grandparent, a great aunt, somebody who you looked up to and was a great role model for you, someone who was a great leader, someone who made a difference in your life. Well, it's those qualities that we're trying to look at and quantify here in our lecture on leadership. So when you think of leadership, there's many places where we can turn to get models of qualities and things that effective leaders do. For instance, we look to the world of business, we look to the world of sport, and we look to the world of the military. I did send you some links this week for you to watch, and when you watch these clips of great leaders, I want you to look to see how many of the qualities, the 17 qualities of effective leaders that are embodied in these wonderful leaders, the clips that you're going to be watching. So from the world of business, Steve Jobs, the great inventor of Apple and the Apple products, if you ever watch his movie, you will see that he is not a loved leader, but he was a very effective leader. He created one of the world's most famous and productive companies. But there are some qualities. I guess when we watch the Steve Jobs story, we ask ourselves, do nice guys finish last? Well, you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be ornery, but you certainly do have to exhibit some of the qualities that make you an effective leader, where your followers look up to you and respect you, and they will work hard for you. So we look to models like Steve Jobs. We look to Lee Iacocca, the famous man who rebuilt Chrysler from the ashes, the flight of the Phoenix. Chrysler was bankrupt a couple times, but he rebuilt the company. And on his sales receipt, when you buy a Chrysler product, it says on the top, company objective, to be the premier car manufacturing company in the world. And I think that is the words and the statement of a very powerful leader. Just think if we had in the top of our own resume when it says employment objective, to be the finest employee that this corporation or company has ever hired, to be the finest teacher that this school district has ever hired, to be the finest coach that this school district has ever hired. So those are the words of great business leaders. Pete Wilmot from Federal Express. Federal Express was struggling. UPS seems to have a very successful business model, but Federal Express, the president of Federal Express, Pete Wilmot, was finding that trucks were being loaded late, airplanes were leaving late, packages were not being dispatched in an expeditious fashion. And he found that packages were arriving with broken dishes inside, and his employees were hook-shotting packages into bins and kicking things around. And he said to his employees that this will not work. This is not the business plan of a successful business. So he did his best to turn things around. He said, we are going to develop cohesiveness and pride. We are going to get our packages out intact, on time, in an expeditious fashion, and we are going to have a great company. And he would go from warehouse to warehouse, and he would push the packages aside on a Friday afternoon and said, listen, if we can get stuff out on time, we're going to have a floor hockey game here amongst the employees. So qualities of great effective leadership, cohesiveness and pride. That will be echoed in the video clip you watch of Herb Brooks, the great coach from the U.S. national hockey team, 1980 Miracle on Ice, where he took a group of 19-year-old young American hockey players and pitted them against the Russian Red Army, the finest trained hockey team on the face of the earth. And the speech that you will watch shows how great leaders organize, mobilize, and make their followers believe in themselves and make great things happen. So other great sport leaders, I really like Nick Saban. He has a book on leadership and how to be successful. If you are interested in leadership models for sport and football, Coach Saban has several very interesting leadership links on YouTube, so I do encourage you to watch some Nick Saban links. I did not put them in your email to watch for class today. Perhaps the greatest sport leader of all time is Sir Alex Ferguson, the great Manchester United soccer manager. As you can see from my background, my Man United flag is held proudly in my office here. I'm a big fan of both the team, the club, the history, what it stands for, and of course, Sir Alex. Sir Alex was such a successful manager. He mobilized the teams to win trophies, win championships. Late in the game, 2 minutes left, he could organize and mobilize and motivate his team to score a winning goal in, as they say, Fergie time. So Alex Ferguson was such a great leader. He wrote a book effectively called Leadership, that the Harvard School of Business invited him to be a guest speaker and share with their School of Business some of the secrets of successful management. So if you're looking for a role model on successful leadership, please turn your attention to Sir Alex Ferguson, the great manager of Manchester United, perhaps one of the greatest football clubs in all the world. Military leadership, I did give you 2 links to watch for class. Colonel Joshua Chamberlain at Gettysburg, perhaps one of the greatest military speeches of all time. He had 150 soldiers who had mutinied. They were sick of walking and marching for days without food, without a cup of coffee. They had bullet holes going through their calf muscles, and they had pretty well reached the end of the line. At Gettysburg, if you know or you may not know the history, but it was a pivotal battle. If the South had won the battle at Gettysburg, they probably would have got through the White House. And as Joshua Chamberlain says, if we lose this battle, I think we'll lose the war. So he made this very impassioned speech. He said, soldiers, I need you to pick up your muskets. I need you to walk beside us one more time and fight and join. So he was so effective in dividing the labor, assigning roles, assuming roles, and then motivate you to take on your role. And Joshua Chamberlain, before the war, was an English professor at Bowdoin College in Maine. And I'm sure when he showed up as the colonel of the 20th Maine Regiment, they were all saying, I don't think this English teacher is going to be tough enough to help fortify us and lead us into battle and the fight to the finish. And of course, Joshua Chamberlain said, I will anchor the line. I will be the end person, and no one will get around the end. So band together, hold the line firm, and we can do this together. So one of the finest military speeches of all time, Colonel Joshua Chamberlain. You will see that on your Gettysburg video clip. The other video clip I gave you was Braveheart, William Wallace. England was fighting against Ireland and Scotland, basically pillaging their country and making it very difficult. William Wallace, on the scene that you're going to see called Unite the Clans, comes in and says, let's make a very decisive decision here. If we band the clans together and we fight and we can win this battle, we can have something that we never had before, a country to call our own. So William Wallace, the great Scotsman, featured in the beautiful movie Braveheart, very inspirational leader. Patton is also considered a great military leader. He would ride into battle on top of the tanks with his troops. Again, not the most popular military leader. I thought General Patton was loved and admired by everybody, but he was not. But he was an effective leader. He made tough decisions, decisive decisions, decisions for the betterment of the group. So, as they say, becoming an effective leader is not a popularity contest. You're going to have to make some hard decisions, some tough decisions, and be decisive. And as you will see when you fill in your leadership blanks, being decisive is one of the qualities of an effective leader. So your work this week will be to go to D2L. I have listed the 17 qualities of effective leaders. You have a worksheet, which is fill in the blanks. I gave you the answers. You want to fill in those blanks. Try to understand the qualities of effective leadership. And then when you watch your video links, try to see how these great leaders embody and display and demonstrate these qualities of effective leadership. So I hope the links work. I hope you enjoy watching the links. I hope you become familiar with the theories of effective leadership. And the last thought I want to lead you with, if I do give you a true-false question on test number 2, are leaders born or made? I hope you say false to the fact that leaders are born. Certain leaders are born with some qualities and some characteristics. But if we could not learn how to be an effective leader, if we could not train you on the qualities of being an effective leader, then all the things we've studied in this class would be meaningless. So leaders can be made. We study, we acquire, we look at skills, we polish our own character and see if we cannot become a more effective leader. So leadership skills can be acquired. So that is a very important concept. So class, this is our last in-class face-to-face lecture that we had this week on leadership. Next week we will fully transition to remote learning. We will have a Zoom meeting on Tuesday for everybody. Both the Tuesday and Thursday group can join in. I will lecture on mental training programs to make sure we're all on the same page on performance enhancement, performance intervention, counseling techniques and strategies that can facilitate and promote athletic performance. So we'll have a lecture on mental training programs this Tuesday, and then we're off for Thanksgiving. And then the Tuesday following Thanksgiving, we'll have another Zoom to mop up loose ends and provide you with a course summary. So class, stay safe over the break and stay healthy. And I wish you good luck as you finish all your coursework in this course and all the courses that you're taking this semester. So thank you very much, and I'll see you, as we say, in class on Zoom on Tuesday.